first regular session. We're going to have the invocation given by Rabbi Ari Plost and the pledge of the flag. If you would please stand and join us. Rabbi, please come forward.
Let us bow our heads in worship. God, the source of blessing, the source of compassion, the source of peace, bless the inhabitants of our city that they may feel a sense of the presence of your love. Help and guide our leaders that they may always use wisdom and civility and respect as they reflect upon different points of view and come to better understanding for the benefit of us all. Let us uplift always the legacy of Thomas Kennedy, who we cherish, as we open our doors always to those who come from all variety of backgrounds, all variety of religions, all differences of persuasion, of ethnicity, of race, of lifestyle, such that we can uphold the eternal values of our city and of our country. We say this in your name, all those who follow Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, and any who provide a guidance that lifts up a sacred purpose in our lives, to which we say, Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll be operating under the rules of procedure adopted by this administration on December 20th, 2016. If you have a cell phone, please put it on mute. All correspondence distribution to elected officials should be provided to the city clerk, and it should include a copy for the city clerk for inclusion in the official record. Our next meetings, there is no meeting next Tuesday. September 10th and the 17th are work sessions at 4 p.m. September 24th is a regular session at 7 p.m. We have two appointments tonight. Lou, could you do me the honors?
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move George Hill to appoint the Hagerstown Housing Authority, term to expire August 30, 2024. Also move Serene Dorius to the City Ethics Commission, term to expire September 1, 2024. And if I mispronounce that name, I apologize.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we have a proclamation tonight for Washington Goes Purple. Could I get Captain Alexander? Vicki, can I get you? Chief Lord, can I get you? Emily's a little shy on coming forward this evening, but I'm pretty sure that anybody knows her, understands that she is definitely the face of Washington Goes Purple. I mean, look at that hair. Come on. There you go. So, and I know that this group, along with many other volunteers, and I mean many, put in countless hours, work hard every single day to fight this epidemic, and we're a grateful community because of it. So thank you very much. The proclamation is for Washington Goes Purple Month, September 2019. Whereas our nation is suffering one of the most devastating epidemics in modern history, and whereas the state of Maryland and Washington County are not immune to this epidemic, and whereas a local movement to bring awareness to this overwhelming epidemic in our community has resulted in a coalition of professionals and volunteers to reach out to our high school and middle school students, having the very serious and the new conversation with them about prescription painkillers and other drugs. And whereas this movement has gained the support of local government medical professionals, business leaders, teachers, law enforcement agencies, paramedics, and all other first responders who know that this epidemic is negatively impacting our communities and our future, our children, and whereas there are very few who have not felt the pain of losing a loved one or close friend to this cancer that has ravaged our great nation, and whereas grandparents, parents, mentors, and peers of high school and middle school children need to focus on spreading the awareness of the danger of opioid misuse and other drugs, and whereas it is the moral responsibility of each and every one of us to help eradicate this disease and continue the good fight until we have turned the tide of this cancer that is eating away at the very fabric of our nation and our future. And whereas Washington Goes Purple is answering that call, laser focused on spreading the information to begin that process of saving our future. Now therefore, I, Robert E. Brucci II, Mayor of the City of Hagerstown, Maryland, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2019 as Washington Goes Purple Month, and encourage all citizens to light up the night with purple, the color of recovery, and spread the information of the dangers of opioids and other drugs, and to assist in beating back this purge against our community. Purple time.
I've said many times in my tenure here as your fire chief, I don't know of a bigger problem facing our community. So I'm very grateful for these ladies standing beside me and the other public safety agencies here in town to just attack this thing for what it is. Glad to be a part of it.
Thank you, and I just want to thank the city of Hagerstown for all the support. You will see us out there tomorrow morning wrapping the light posts, which I'm sure your city light department just loves us.
I don't have much more to add. Just I thank you guys for all the support you've given me and city staff for participating in Washington Goes Purple and just supporting us even behind the scenes. This has been a massive community effort. I can't think of an area of our community that isn't involved some way, and we really greatly appreciate it. You know, it's going to take years to overcome the damage that this epidemic has caused our community and the country, but I think by all coming together, raising awareness, and most importantly, educating our youth about the dangers of prescription painkillers, I truly believe that we will get through this, and I'm honored to be a part of it. So thank you guys, and thank you for always helping. Nope.
Well, I know that one way for sure, you know, when you guys go into these schools and you talk to these students, you know, that's the hope right there of how we turn this around. Now, this didn't happen overnight to us. It's not going to get fixed overnight. And you planting that seed at that young age is definitely going to help lift us out of this problem. So we appreciate all you do. Thank you very much. Eric, you want to get Let me be the form between the two. I'll let us see. Dan?
Okay, here we go. Okay, good smile, 1, 2, 3. Okay?
Thank you guys. All right, next we have some guests for our 2019 Hagerstown, or Highlight Hagerstown Awards. Kathy?
Good evening and welcome to the 2019 Highlight Hagerstown Awards. Every year, the Hagerstown Beautification Advisory Committee recognizes those who have contributed to boosting the curb appeal of the city of Hagerstown, and the Highlight Hagerstown Awards are designed to show appreciation for those who have beautified their property. So this year, we received 13 total nominations, 4 commercial, 4 residential, and 5 public space nominations, from which we have awarded 8 total winners, 2 commercial, 3 residential, and 3 public space winners. And as I call your property, just go ahead and come up and accept the award. So the first commercial award goes to Anthony's Pizza for their landscaping efforts, including a planter box lining the front of the building and a garden bed, both of which boost the curb appeal from South Cleveland Avenue. and pose for a picture.
Okay, we're gonna get an individual? Okay.
Need more film, huh?
The second commercial award goes to Burger King, who demolished and rebuilt their restaurant on Dual Highway. The committee would like to recognize their efforts to maintain and beautify this location.
I love her.
And moving on to the residential awards, the first residential award goes to Edward and Meredith Williams, owners of 433 North Potomac, to recognize the unique landscaping and the boosted curb appeal on Potomac Street.
Yeah,
I feel like my fence should be 6 years.
The next residential award goes to the owner and tenants of 36 East Washington Street, who have made the effort to plant and maintain 4 flower pots in front of the property to boost its curb appeal. And the owner's Freedom Equity. I'm not sure if they're here. Guess not. And then the last but not least residential award goes to John Carbone for his beautifully maintained landscaping at 1411 Oak Hill Avenue. And finally, the committee would like to recognize impactful public space projects in the city. So the first public space award goes to the Thomas Kennedy Center for their hard work on Thomas Kennedy Park, which is the city's 22nd park. The sculpture recognizes Thomas Kennedy, who championed the bill that gave Jewish people the right to hold office. And as part of this award, the committee would also like to recognize the sculptor, Toby Mendez, and Monarch Alliance, who helped to fund the Monarch Garden.
All right.
The next public space award goes to Brianne Burries for her efforts in creating a Monarch Way station along a city alley, which has since been renamed Monarch Way. And once again, recognizing the Monarch Alliance for awarding her 192 plants for the way station. And the final public space award goes to the Joint Veterans Council of Washington County for the Vietnam War Veterans Monument. They spent over 2 years planning and fundraising to bring the monument to Hagerstown. And just a final thank you to all the award winners for their efforts in beautifying the city.
Oh, all right. Time for citizen comments. First person signed up is Patrick Padone. Please come up to the microphone, give us your name and address.
Patrick Prudhomme, 136 North Mulberry. Just have a few things to note. I turned in a list of sidewalks, over 90 sidewalks in our neighborhood, not including the sidewalks on North Locust. And received a letter back stating that we only take care of sidewalks when we're redoing our streets. Well, we had our streets totally redone within the last 3 years because of the gas lines, and nothing happened. So I don't know what to say about that. I mean, these aren't even all of the damaged sidewalks. These are just the sidewalks that are a real problem, that are a trip hazard, that are spalding to the state of just there's nothing there except dust in some areas. When do we just follow our code and do what we're supposed to do? You know, they're supposed to contact the landlords and tell them it's their responsibility to get it fixed. I had one guy that showed up. He was great. I called the mayor's office. He came out. He marked the sidewalks right away. That was 5 or 6 months ago. Nothing since then. Sidewalks are still sitting there. And I can guarantee you they're going to be sitting there all the way through the winter, too, if not longer. So, you know, I don't know what to say about that. I just know that I don't see the job getting done. I did get a call from our neighborhood enhancement officer, and he said that he would look into the few trash cans and recycling bins in our neighborhood that were around. He was going to look into that. And that was months ago. I haven't seen anything. So I took 5 hours and did a little walk through the neighborhood, and I came up with 240 houses. The trash cans are either up against the front side, on the porch, or on the sidewalk. These are trash cans and recycling bins, for a total of 746 of these receptacles altogether. 179 of them don't even have lids on them. So we're talking, you look down inside and there are maggots and mosquitoes breeding. Just unbelievable. And we've been asking about this for years now. And again, it's supposed to be in the code. It's not up for discussion. They're supposed to come out and take care of this. And I didn't bother to do the cans that you could see in between the houses at the back of the property, because I wasn't that interested in that. That's in the code. They're supposed to be hidden. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the ones that are right up in my face. It's pretty disgusting. And finally, I wanted to talk about this article in the July 29th Herald Mail. One of my neighbors is dead through a rotted railing on the 3rd floor. But the head of the police department says no charges filed against the landlord because he thinks he's got a theory that she died of a heart attack before she went through the railing. I don't know, how common is it that you die standing and then fall forward? Or maybe she died and jumped up and shot through the railing. I have no idea. But the autopsy hasn't been done yet. How can you decide what you're going to do? And then our neighborhood enhancement officer that hasn't been around to take care of the garbage cans gives us a civic lesson that the landlords have rights. Instead of, I think the place should have been condemned immediately. He couldn't tell us about the railing because he was afraid to walk on the deck. It was so badly rotted. Wow, I'm ashamed that in this community that this woman's being swept under the carpet just like this, you know? I did stop by and talk to one of the neighbors, and I said, well, at least they repaired the 3 stories of rotting wood. And he said, I looked at it. He said, I still see, wood down below that doesn't look safe to me. So just want to say, it continues to be a job that just doesn't get done by this department. And I wonder how many hundreds of thousands of dollars, we put into this over the last 10 years, if not millions of dollars into this department. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Brian?
I have something I'd like to comment.
Good evening, Brian Ginty, 136 Mulberry. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to pass.
Lisa?
Hello, everyone. Good to see you again. Mayor, you going to try my last name again?
Présence?
Yes, yes, very good, yes. My name is Lisa Plaisance, and I'm a member of Hilltop Christian Fellowship Church in Clear Spring and part of their Hagerstown outreach team. And again, I want to thank you for your time and allowing us to come before you and speak, and thank you for your dedication to the city, because I know you have full-time careers and families, and that's really commendable that you're doing that for our city. So 4 weeks ago, when I was here last, I brought to your attention the injustice against our preborn neighbors being murdered at the Hagerstown Reproductive Health Services at 160 West Washington Street. Since that last meeting, I have been praying that God will convict your hearts of the atrocity that operates only a few blocks from here. And when you have passed 160 West Washington Street, have you noticed their newly painted bright yellow door? It's meant to draw abortion-seeking women away from the newly planted Hagerstown Area Pregnancy Center's satellite clinic right next door, with their sign offering free pre-abortion ultrasounds. And have you noticed the pro-choice escorts in orange vests surrounding a client and rushing her through the door? Have you thought about the ugly truth of this murder for hire business that exists in this city? I come here again today to remind you that in the first 6 months of this year alone, 404 innocent human beings were victimized at the abortion clinic, the equivalent of one entire graduating class from North High. They perished at the hands of 2 abortionists who in the past have been prosecuted and found guilty of 4 wrongful deaths: Earl M. McLeod and Deli E. Thweet Jr. Hagerstown Reproductive Services opened their doors in 1979, 40 years ago. During this time, the equivalent to the entire population of Hagerstown plus has been wiped out by the abortuary. That's an estimated 52,848 children are dead. While we have been silent, their innocent blood is on our hands. That is what God tells us. The 6th commandment, you shall not murder. There are no exceptions. The God of the Bible tells us that life begins at conception, that he knew us before we were formed in the womb. Science confirms life begins at conception. Abortion is a barbaric evil that God hates. In Proverbs 24, verses 11 and 12, God tells us, rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. If you say, behold, we did not know this, does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who keeps watch over your soul know it? And will he not repay man according to his work? The one who embraces wisdom can never be content with merely seeking the well-being of himself or his family. He will seek justice as widely as he can. Here is a quote from abortion survivor Gianna Jessen in her testimony before Congress. I am alive because of the power of Jesus Christ alone, in whom I live and move and find my being. Without him, I have nothing, and with him, I have all. I pray that God bless you with wisdom and guidance to lead this city in a manner that will glorify him. I pray you will fear God and not man, that you will seek justice, correct oppression, and help to end abortion now. I want to thank you again for allowing me to stand before you.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, I have one more person who signed up, and you're gonna have to help me. Didn't Hall? Yes.
My name's Andrew Durham. I live at 465 North Potomac Street, and I'm here tonight to request that the council not change the 200 block of Jefferson Avenue from eastbound to westbound. And I provided a paper to all the members, and it explains my reasoning, and I've read it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them. If you haven't read it, I request you read it before you vote.
Thank you.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you. And no one else has signed up unless anybody wishes to speak and wants to step up now to the microphone. Art, go ahead. Jason, you got to start signing up, buddy.
I'd just like to offer that I'm so proud of the fact that we live in a country where reproductive rights are taken seriously, and that God endows us with inalienable rights, including the freedom of conscience and the freedom of choice. And it's a bedrock principle of my faith, of Judaism, that we are led towards ever-increasing freedoms and awarenesses. And ever since we've been liberated from Egypt to practice freely and to live freely, we advance as a society to include an awareness that there are many people for whom those rights are not always extended, that we always work harder to be in dialogue with those who have different beliefs than us, but more than anything to recognize that for so long, at least one half of the human population, women, do not always have a full and equal voice in our society. And I'm proud to live in a country where, and live in a city where those freedoms and rights given to us by God are also extended to women in their right to choose. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. All right, Jason, what's up?
Yeah, my name is Jason Physiok. I'm a Hagerstonian with no fixed address, as you all know. But I just wanted to mention first, like the splash pad idea, I think is great. I think children would love it, and I would love it. But okay, I just have one suggestion, and it's not a pressing issue, but just a consideration. The alleys behind Turning Point, they're really rough, and there's constant traffic in and out all the time, and like the staff, they're in and out all the time, all day long, and it would be good if you consider repaving them sometime in the future.
Traffic behind where? I'm sorry.
Turning Point.
Okay.
There's two alleys
Okay,
that
gotcha,
come like
gotcha,
a T.
Gotcha, yep.
Yeah, they're kind of rough, but the roughness is good because it keeps the speed limit down a little bit.
Right.
So, yeah.
I know there's a couple speed bumps in there too.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jason. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? Thank you. All right, Mr. Alshire, you're up first tonight.
I don't think I have anything this evening.
Mr. Heffernan?
I just wanted to, a couple of things, wanted to mention the possibility for us to spend some money. First of all, I wanted to thank Scott, City Administrator, for conducting the vulnerability study on our city buildings. And I think in this day and age, we can no longer subscribe to the philosophy of it can't happen here. I think that we need to invest in physical security measures, alarm systems, and training for our city employees. We have a duty to keep our citizens safe and our employees safe. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I think it would be great to have some training for city employees. You know, the things that they can do, how to deal with someone that's in an area they're not supposed to be in, and how to remain cordial but direct somebody to get out of the area they're not supposed to be in. And then, when to call HPD or when to trigger an alarm system. And if we waste some money or spend some money on alarm systems and physical security, I think it's money well spent. It's not wasted. Second thing was I wanted to send a thank you out to Officer Patterson of the HPD. residents up in the north end recently were very appalled by a brazen break-in of a house where someone entered at between 3 and 4 in the morning and stole a TV while the residents were sleeping upstairs, and in spite of their dogs barking, trying to scare the guy off. Officer Patterson was able to put some videos together that were offered up by residents from their Ring security doorbell cameras and other cameras they had on their house, and was able to, in a relatively short manner of time, come up with an identification and make an arrest in that break-in. And it points to the effectiveness of cameras. We all know that our police department is shorthanded, and I think that's something that I would like to see us look at is possibly some additional cameras on utility poles, especially in areas that seem to be heavily victimized. I see, I subscribe to these apps, Nextdoor in the Ring doorbell neighborhood, and of course we have See It, Send It. But there are reports every day of property damage, cars being rifled through, vandalism, egging of cars, and all this kind of stuff. And it seems to be in specific pockets. So I think there's some money that could be spent there on some utility pole cameras and things to surveil our streets. The individual residents' Ring doorbells and security cameras on their house, those are great, but they just can't get the field of view of a street. So I would love to see us do that. That's my 2 cents.
I'll add real quick for your comments. I got an email from Antietam Cable member who said there may be some grant money out there for Ring doorbells currently. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I actually forgotten he told me that, so now I can go back and try to find that email from a couple days ago. So thank you. Emma.
Yeah, I just wanted to address a couple of the comments that were made by citizens. Mr. Prudhomme, I appreciate your diligence in trying to keep your community safe and clean. I do just want to defend Chief Kiefer for a second and the comment about him sweeping her under the rug. Chief Kiefer is one of the most kind, caring, compassionate people that I know, and I can promise you he would not sweep anyone under the rug.
I didn't say anything about any of that. I said that he said that there wasn't going to press charges based on theory he had. There's no alternative.
Yes, and that she was swept under the rug. I mean, it just couldn't, that's not further than the truth. You did just say that. I wrote it down. You didn't say that?
I can't hear you.
You didn't say that she got swept under the rug?
I think that it looks really bad, and I think when you just make a decision out of something a supposition that you have without having any facts, it doesn't look good.
But I just can guarantee you that HPD did their due diligence. If not, they didn't have all the facts at the time of that newspaper article. I can promise you that they have at this point.
I'm sorry, you have to speak into the microphone.
We can talk afterwards. As far as Lisa and Rabbi Ploss that were here, I appreciate both of them. I think it is, I don't agree with her view, but I thought it was stated very well, and I appreciate that they can have two conflicting views, but done so in a respectful way, and they didn't attack each other, and he didn't come out and attack her, and I think we need more of that in America. So I just wanted to say, acknowledge their conflicting views, but that it was done so in a respectful manner. It would be nice to see more of that in this country. And then I just wanted to talk about the downtown slide this weekend. If you guys missed it, you missed a really great time. We had a ton of fun that was going on there. They had a dash and splash beforehand that our city staff put a lot of work into, and then this huge downtown summer slide festival that we've had for 3 summers now. And we hear all the time how we need family-friendly activities, and it was an absolutely beautiful day downtown Hagerstown. It was only 82 degrees, the sun was shining, there was vendors, there was music, there was water, and 35 people showed up to the fun run. After all of that planning, all of the advertising, all of the sponsorships that were done, it was advertised in Herald Mail, What's Next, WDVM, it was on the radio, it was on our Facebook pages. And I don't know how we can do a better job of getting the message out on something, but if we're missing some sort of advertising, please someone let us know, because it's just so unfortunate we have these awesome events. I mean, Shelley and I had a blast going down the water slide. I took HFD's dog on my lap. I mean, we had ourselves a heck of a time on Saturday afternoon, but there were only 50 to 100 people there. And I just don't know how to get the community out when we were putting all this time and effort into family-friendly events, which is what we're always asked for, and then people don't come. So I just really encourage our community to get more involved in the stuff that's going on in these events that we're having, because all summer long, we've had some pretty incredible times all through Hagerstown, and it's just hard to get people to come out. And when it's 82 and sunny and beautiful out, I just don't know what else to do. So if you guys have any suggestions for us on how to better advertise or how to get the word out, or how to encourage people to come out and participate in this stuff, I'm all ears. That's all I have.
I agree 100%. I don't know what you have to do to get the word out. I mean, I was hit on a similar subject, and I was like, really? I mean, I don't know where else we're supposed to advertise that. But.
I mean, I've rarely listened to the radio, and I heard it
Oh, yeah,
advertised
yeah,
for
like
the
7
entire week
times,
leading up,
Yeah. I'm
up
with
to
you.
it.
Lou?
I have a different take than Emily. I don't think Lisa was so pleasant. She was very nice about saying, geez, thank you for all the things you do. And then I don't know how many times I heard the word murder come out of her mouth. She didn't talk about abortion. She didn't talk about what was legal in this country. She talked about murder. She talked about infanticide. She talked about how many children we were allowing to be killed up there. Now, I heard that a month ago, too. But a month ago, it didn't really bother me, and I'll tell you what. There was something I didn't hear a month ago that I heard tonight about 3 to 4 times, and that was the address of the abortion clinic. And I would like to know, in a day and age of mass shootings, of mass craziness, how it is a positive thing for a woman who does not live in this town to come into this town, and apparently she's going to do it every month, not go down to the Supreme Court, and act like that she's talking to us, because she is not. She is a very intelligent person. And she knows that the 5 people up here have nothing to do with this issue. And no matter what we think about it, we couldn't do anything about it. What is being done at these clinics nationwide is legal in the United States of America. Every one of us up here took an oath to support the Constitution of this country. If she wants to come up and talk to us about how she doesn't like it and the federal government, it should be changed by the Supreme Court, that's fine. But to come from out of town into this town, constantly raising the words murder, constantly addressing the address of this clinic, I need to wonder what she expects to come out of that. Because she knows we aren't going to do anything. And if she doesn't know, there's at least 2 of us sitting up here that totally agree with the rabbi who spoke. So that message should go out. You have 3 others you may want to convince. So let's just be clear. As kind as she starts and as kind as she ends, everything in the middle is nothing but nastiness, claiming that God sent her here. And I'm wondering if she's implying that God should send some other people to take care of these murderers. So I don't think it was such a kind thing to say, and I think we should be very cautious about allowing this woman to repeat over and over the address of this clinic, because there's something potentially nefarious about it, and it concerns me. Thank you.
I actually
Shelley.
agree with you. I didn't catch that address.
I would just like to thank both the county commissioners, staff, and city staff for arranging the joint meeting today. I do think that it's important because that's only the 2nd meeting in my administration that we've had with the county. The first that we had was with the prior administration. I also would like to see that the 2x2s continue. We've had 1 2x2 meeting. I think that it's imperative that we continue the conversation and that we don't let another year go by. I think that it should be maybe on a quarterly basis. It's too important that we work together in order for us to move the city and the county forward as a
unified, as a unified force, in order to help to promote the events that we're having. And, you know, imagine if we were able to sit with the county commissioners and talk about those events and be able to tell them to get the word out to their own, you know, to the county also. I mean, maybe that's just another way of being able to work together. I just don't want to see another year go by or another 6 months go by before there's another 2x2 meeting. I think we need to just keep it going on a consistent basis. That's it.
Get something else to say. Let Scott do his thing first. City Administrator.
Just one thing, Mayor, all city offices will be closed on Monday, September 2nd for Labor Day. Take this opportunity to thank our 470-plus employees that come out and serve the citizens every day, 7 days a week, and enjoy your weekend.
And there's a change in trash pickup, which I saw Wes put out in a public service announcement. Thank you, Wes.
Sorry, I was flustered by the abortion talk, and I forgot to make my most important announcement. This Saturday at City Park at 6 p.m. is the Washington Goes Purple kickoff. It is family friendly. We have balloons and face painting and bounce houses and photo booths, and we have a bunch of speakers lined up, one of which is Tony Hoffman. He's an Olympic BMX coach who hurt himself during his career, got addicted to prescription painkillers. We all know this story, ended up losing everything, and now he's back coaching in the Olympics. And I think his story is going to be very powerful for our community, adults and teenagers. So please come out and join us for our kickoff.
Done. Okay. All right. I only have two things. First off, there's no meeting next Tuesday evening, so I'll tell you now that please come out to North High Stadium, to Calla Stadium, for the Gridiron Championship on September 6th at 6 p.m. North versus South. I can't remember the year, 93rd year or something like that. I don't know, 53rd year. Anyway, great championship between two hometown rivals. So I'll be giving away the trophy, the Gridiron Trophy. So please attend with us and join us. It'll be the first time ever that I presented the trophy wearing shorts. So that'd be cool. Yeah, won't be freezing. Also, in lieu of Lou's comments, he is correct. We all took an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and that includes the First Amendment. All right, moving on. The adoption of the minutes, please.
Hereby move for approval of minutes as presented for the mayor and council meetings held on July 2, July 16, July 23, and July 30, 2019.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent agenda?
Hereby move all the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of an ordinance, execution of a deed of easement and maintenance agreement with the Housing Authority for public art installation.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move for the approval of an ordinance authorizing the execution of a deed of easement and maintenance agreement between the City of Hagerstown and the Housing Authority of the City of Hagerstown, Maryland, for use of a portion of the Housing Authority property in connection with the installation and maintenance of a public art sculpture entitled Moeller's Sustained Wind by David Gibney.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Introduction of an ordinance to quitclaim alley 571.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move for the introduction of an ordinance to quitclaim an improved portion of Alley 5-71 between 827 and 829 B Street as it is no longer needed for a public purpose.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Execution of residential lease agreements at the City of Hagerstown.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move Mayor and City Council adopt the attached resolutions authorizing execution of lease agreements between the City of Hagerstown and Dwayne Miller for the residence located at 12727 Ritchie Road, Smithsburg, Maryland. John and Michelle Reinhardt for the residence located at 23510 Warner Hollow Road, Smithsburg, Maryland. and Charles and Lori Henson for the residents located at 12140 Crystal Falls Road, Smithsburg, Maryland.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval resolution to accept additional right-of-way in Wareham Alley.
Mr. Mayor, we move for the approval resolution to accept the office of dedication from the Board of County Commissioners, Washington County, and Carmel Enterprises LLC for additional right-of-way along Wareham Alley. The city will commence full maintenance responsibilities of the widened portion of Wareham Alley after improvements have been completed by the county and inspected by the city.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval resolution to grant a license agreement to the Maryland Theater.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move to approve a resolution to have the city of Hagerstown grant a license agreement to the Maryland Theater authorizing the theater to install canopies, signs, and hydraulic lifts within the public right-of-way of Potomac Street and Rochester Alley as described herein.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval resolution to accept the Second Amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding of the Washington County Historical Trust.
Mr. Mayor, here we move for the approval of a resolution to accept the Second Amendment to the MOU with the Washington County Historical Trust to amend the terms and redefine the scope of work to be completed by them. I further authorize staff to seek to reallocate program open space funds and complete the city's portion of the work as described herein.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Traffic pattern changes to the 100 and 200 block of North Canaan Avenue.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move that mayor and council authorize staff to change the 100 and 200 blocks of Cannon Avenue to one-way northbound from Old Franklin Street to Jefferson Street, and to reverse the direction of one-way traffic in the 200 block of Jefferson Street to westbound. I authorize staff to make all necessary changes to signs, pavement markings, and traffic signals as outlined in the August 20th, 2019 presentation to mayor and council, as well as removing up to 3 parking spaces as needed for safety. The cost is estimated at $6,000 and will be funded by FY20 budgets of Public Works and Engineering.
Second.
Discussion.
Mayor, if I could, we got feedback this week from several people, including Mr. Durham tonight. If you want to, we could just do Cannon Avenue now and deal with Jefferson later, or we could do them together. I think there's pluses and minuses of moving any of the streets from where they are now to what we're proposing. But if you want to do just Cannon Avenue, that would be acceptable.
You know, it's one of the things that I was thinking about myself is because if I'm headed north on Cannon, it doesn't really help me to make a left on Jefferson to go to Locust.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it just really doesn't, because I can still go up around like I always did and make that left if I want to come down Locust.
Right.
And Mr. Mayor, I would recommend that we follow Rodney's direction. Board of Traffic and Parking, I think, spent an awful lot of time on Cannon.
Yes,
I don't think we spent nearly as much time on Jefferson.
right. The only thing on
We
Jefferson.
do need to have a discussion about East Avenue.
Yeah, we can look into that after we get this one done.
But does the balance, I mean, I think we could still pass the resolution.
Well, just amend it.
Well, even if you don't amend it, as long as we tell staff we don't want them to go through with Jefferson until they come back and tell us they want us to.
That's right.
You know, I
So we
think
get more
that's,
public feedback too.
yeah, I think that's as easy as anything.
That's fine. Fine with me. Yeah.
Fine with you?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Any more discussion on the matter? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
No.
Not right now. No, sir, not right this minute. It was approved, but not to change Jefferson to one-way west. So Cannon Avenue is
We're
one way.
not changing Jefferson at this time.
Right.
Is the answer. We're
Not changing Jefferson Boulevard.
That is correct.
Yes, we are.
That is correct. Mayor,
Okay, thank you. Approval of master agreement of the Maryland Department of Transportation.
I hereby move to approve a master agreement between the City of Hagerstown and Maryland Department of Transportation. This agreement provides procedures and conditions for projects that receive federal aid. This agreement supersedes the 1978 agreement currently in place.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of Keystone Trailer sales request for water under the city's water and wastewater policy.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move for mayor and city council to approve the request from Utility Keystone Trailer Sales for water services for a portion of the airport business park located in the area of City Corp Drive and Breeze Hill Drive, located beyond the Hagerstown medium range growth area for a proposed new tractor trailer sales and repair facility. The property is approximately 16 acres and is identified on the attached map. Approval is granted for this property outside the city's medium range growth area under exception number 6 of the city's water and wastewater policy. The approval is only for the specific project presented, and any additional construction on the parcel will require separate approval. The approval requires a pre-annexation agreement with the city of Hagerstown.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of Hagerstown Mason RE request for water under the city's water and wastewater policy.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move for the mayor and city council to approve the request from Hagerstown Mason RE for water services for a portion of the airport business park located in the area of City Court Drive and Mason-Dixon Road, located beyond the Hagerstown medium range growth area for a proposed convenience store and fuel station. The property is approximately 5 acres and is identified on the attached map. Approval is granted for this property outside the city's medium range growth area under exception number 6 of the city's water and wastewater policy. The approval is only for the convenience store and fuel station project, and any additional construction on the parcel will require separate approval. The approval requires a pre-annexation agreement with the city of Hagerstown and a 12-inch water main extension on City Court Drive and Mason-Dixon Road as shown on the attached drawing.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of motion to approve the amendment to the power service agreement between the city of Hagerstown and First Energy Solutions Corporation.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move that mayor and city council approve amendment number 6 to the power service agreement between the city of Hagerstown and First Energy Solutions Corporation. The power service agreement has been amended to address the March 31, 2018 First Energy Solutions Corporation bankruptcy filing and to extend the contract term for a period of 2 years from the initial expiration date of May 31st, 2022 through the new expiration date of May 31st, 2024. The megawatt hour charge for service during the aforementioned 2-year period will be $46.98.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval and implementation of Hagerstown Police Department Management Step Scale.
Mr. Mayor, I hereby move for mayor and council approval to implement the Hagerstown Police Department Management Step Scale approved August 13, 2019 as follows. Employees will be transitioned to the appropriate years of service step based on their hire date anniversary as of October 7, 2019. This is not necessarily the same step as they currently are on the MG salary scale. Therefore, employees will advance on the HPD step scale annually based on their hire date anniversary.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, and we are adjourned.